So this law of attraction workshop, everything is about law of attraction. We are putting emphasis upon the art of allowing, the art of figuring out how to allow me in my physical form. How can I allow myself to be a vibrational match to what life has caused me to become? That's what it's all about. Closing the gap, managing the gap, blessing the emotion that lets me know my vibrational relationship between me and me. And when you think about it, this isn't different than any guidance system, is it? Jerry and Esther have several different kinds in different vehicles, but the navigational systems are all based on the same premise. The satellites in the sky and the systems in the vehicles pinpoint where they are. And they program their desired destination, and then the system gives them the route and tells them how they're doing along the route. And when they get off the route, the system squawks. Please return to the highlighted route. When possible, make a legal U-turn. In other words, lots of constant information. They can't get off the highlighted route very far at all before all kinds of bells and whistles go off and the screen starts doing different things. In other words, the guidance system is working, and it is based upon two factors: where you are in relationship to where you said you want to go. And that's what your emotional guidance system is based upon. Where you are in relationship to where you said you want to go. So it just comes down to one thing and one thing only. If you would set an intention, nothing is more important than I feel good today. No matter where I'm going and no matter what I'm doing and no matter who I'm doing it with, it is my dominant intention to look for things that feel good when I see them. If that were the only intention that you held, you would be keenly alert to your guidance system, and you would be moving toward or in your vortex consistently. That vortex is calling you in a powerful way because it is the most powerful point of attraction that you have. It existed before you were born, and you've added to it ever since. The well-being of that vortex is calling you and calling you and calling you and calling you. It's your life purpose. It's your feeling of fulfillment. It's who you are. It's what you're about. And when you allow yourself, by letting go of those oars, we tease you. It's like you go to the edge of the river and you get in your boat and you deliberately, human beings that you are, point it upstream and paddle really, really hard. And we say, why not turn and go with the flow? And you say, oh, that's just lazy. And we say, but the stream is very powerful and very determined, and there are so many resources in it. Why use your energy to buck the current? Why not let the current carry you in the direction of that which you really are? And that's really the point that we're wanting to make with you. If you will chill out, if you will care more about how you feel than any other thing, if you will tend to your emotions first and then let the stream carry you, so that your action then, oh, how much fun it is to apply your action when you're moving with the flow. Because when you're moving with the flow and you apply action, every action is meaningful. Every action gets big results. You begin to feel invincible. You begin to feel capable. You begin to feel accomplished. You begin to feel successful. When you go with the flow and apply your action, it's blissful. But when your action is all about bucking the current, it's not blissful. Doesn't get you the results you want. You feel frustrated because you're not getting the results you want. So you hear our message. Art of allowing, in a nutshell, is chill. Life has caused you to create your vortex. Your vibrational reality is vivid and real and compelling, and law of attraction is amassing the components. Hear this. Law of attraction, we're really on something here. Law of attraction is amassing the components. Law of attraction is the engine, it's the energy, it's the current. Law of attraction is amassing the components. You picked the components out, but law of attraction is amassing the components. We love this. Now hear this. Law of attraction is amassing the components. Did you hear it? Law of attraction is amassing the components. And now you have asked, you have put the components there. Now you must be simply one of the components that law of attraction will bring. You get it? That's why we say chill, chill. Just chill and let yourself be. Stop paddling upstream, let go of the oars, and let law of attraction bring you, along with everything else, into the culmination. Can you do that? Well, so many times you say, we've sort of warmed you up to it, and you sort of kind of want to right now. But So often what happens with so many of you is you say, well, then how do I get my rewards? How do I justify my experience? I find people like me better if I'm struggling. If I'm working hard, earning my keep. Don't want to make this look too easy. They'll stop liking me. And we say, oh, you really have no choice. Give it up. Give it up. Your work happened. You were born. Contrast brings the work from you because contrast makes you focus. Contrast makes you ask. Source takes care of everything else. Now your work is to contour the vibration of your being to make yourself a willing, compliant component of the amassing of law of attraction. It cannot be said more clearly. If you can hear that, then you're off and running, and there is nothing in this world or beyond that you are not capable of creating. If this time-space reality has the wherewithal to inspire within you a desire, this time-space reality has the wherewithal to deliver to you the components and all necessary things, the arrangement and alignment of circumstances and events and everything necessary for the full manifestation, actualization of anything and everything that you want. There is nothing that can be denied, and there is no one who can deny you. It has always been and it will always be. So if there is something missing from your experience, it's not really missing. It's over there in your vibrational reality. You just got to figure out how to get there. And did you hear what we just said? You don't have to figure out how to get there. You just have to figure out how to stop doing that thing you're doing that's not letting you get there. And here's a clue. Every time you're doing that thing you do that is keeping you from going, you feel negative emotion every time. So when you feel negative emotion, stop it. Oh wait, that doesn't work, because when you say, I'm not going to do that, I'm not going to do that thing I'm not going to do, you're doing that thing you're not going to do. So you just have to try to find something that feels a little better. On this emotional scale, on the end where all of your empowerment is, it feels like love and appreciation and joy and enthusiasm and passion and friskiness. In other words, that's where total alignment is. That's a closing of the gap. On the other end of the scale, where despair is, where fear is, where disappointment is, where guilt is, on the other end of the scale is your perception of lack of empowerment. In other words, complete power and freedom and lack of power and freedom. But rather than focusing upon the specifics of these emotions, we find that it is so helpful if, instead of calling it the emotion of revenge or the emotion of anger or the emotion of hope or the emotion of joy, we would encourage you to reach for the emotion of relief. Because the emotion of relief is a relative thing. And when you reach for the emotion of relief, you're reaching as far as you can reach from where you are. And when you feel relief, you've made the move. And when you've made the move, you're now standing in a new vibrational point of attraction. And that's so important to talk about, because when you stand in a new vibrational point of attraction, now everything in your world is going to shift. When you move just a little bit, when you move from ornery to a little less ornery, you have different vibrational characteristics and different people will rendezvous with you. Do you know that when you hang out in a certain vibration along the scale, everything in your life is reflected by that vibration? The people you rendezvous with in traffic, how the people treat you in hotels, the lines you stand in when you're buying merchandise, even the way your physical body functions. Do you know that everything that comes to you, the way your life unfolds on a day-to-day, moment-to-moment basis, every relationship you have with every single person is all about where you are along this emotional scale? So if we were standing in your physical shoes and we were feeling despair, we'd want relief, and we would find it in revenge. And if we were in revenge, we'd want relief, and we would find it in anger. And if we were consistently angry, we'd want relief, and we would find it in less anger. And if we were consistently sort of kind of ornery, we would want relief, and we would find it in frustration. And if we were consistently frustrated and overwhelmed, we would reach for relief, and we would find it in hope. And if we were consistently hanging around hopeful, we would reach for relief, and we would find it in belief. And if we were hanging around believing that things could happen, we would reach for relief, and we would find it in knowing. And if we were hanging around consistently in the vibration of knowing, we would reach for relief, and we would find it in more knowing. We would find it in ecstasy. We would find it in chronic knowing well-being. In other words, there is no limit to the amount of relief that you can find. We're not kidding you. Every day, from our expanded view of the resources of all of this magnificent universe of which you are a very big part, we consistently find even better feeling thoughts. The source within you is expanding because of the life that you are living as you are living the contrast, which means you are constantly becoming more. You got to keep up with you. That's why you can't compare the life that you're living with the life that anybody else is living, because it's irrelevant. Have you ever met happy people that as you looked at the way they were living, you thought you have no business being happy? You shouldn't be happy. Look at your wife. You shouldn't be happy. Look at where you live. In other words, you don't even have running water into this village. What are you doing being happy? Let me show you how you're supposed to live. Look at your religion. How could you be happy in your religion? Your religion is bogus. You need running water, a different wife, and a different religion in order to be happy. And I have the book that shows you how to accomplish all of that. You cannot do that with another people, with another nation, with another neighbor. You cannot know, because they have their own vibrational relationship. Their life has caused them to be whatever it has caused them to be. And the way they feel is about them keeping up to speed with their gap. Which brings us to the last thing that we want to say before we open this to the magnificence of your questions, and that is, this is the most important component of understanding the art of allowing. We'll be brief and loving. Mind your own business. And nothing is your business unless you're feeling emotion about it. And if you're feeling emotion about it, that means you've made it your business. For example, let's say you have a friend or a relative or a child or a parent who is suffering something and you've been focused upon it. Do you know that you cannot observe anything without putting your improved version of it in your vibrational reality? So now you've put your failing son in your vibrational reality. You know what you don't want, you know what you do want. So the new and improved version of this person is now in your vibrational reality. You have become something more and something different because of this relationship. Now your obligation is to give your undivided attention to the new version. And when you do, you'll feel wonderful and you'll be an uplifter for that person. But if you instead say, hey, I created a new and improved version of you and you're not living up to it. You need to change, and you need to change fast, because when I look at you, I feel bad. And since you live with me, I have to keep looking at you. So either get out or improve, because I don't like feeling bad. And we say, now you're not minding your own business. Your business is over here. Your business is in your vibrational reality. They were an inspiration to what you made your business. But when you say to anyone, you need to change some condition of what you're living so that I can feel better, that's a very conditional love that will hold you in bondage forever, because you can't make them change. Your obligation, your responsibility, your path to freedom and joy and upliftment, and your path to assisting others in improving is to give your undivided attention to your version of them in your vibrational escrow. And when you do, not only will you feel wonderful, they helped you create it, and you are now in sync with Source's version of it. In other words, you are seeing them through the eyes of Source, and you're feeling wonderful. Not only will you feel wonderful, but now you will be offering one single vibrational beam, not split energy, one single powerful vibrational beam, that anytime they get anywhere near the vicinity of it, you will help them to feel it more. Haven't you ever had someone in your life who saw your value, who knew you could do it even when you didn't? And didn't it feel good just to be in their presence? Don't you just feel good knowing, don't you believe in yourself a little more when someone that you admire believes in you? But we gotta say, they learned something, because they can't believe in who you are becoming if they are looking at who you are. A woman said to us one day when we gave her this important piece of information, but my son, won't he feel I am forsaking him if I'm not there with him, complaining with him? And we say, no one will feel forsaken when you've put them in your vibrational reality, and you are giving your undivided attention to the success and value of that which they are.